Welcome to this channel where we give now ogbonge update on wetin dey happen for Biafran territory and how the zoo dey enter begin. The Fùlañì terrorists wey dis mala dey send, they don dey cry, dey tell their papa say make dem free Indigbos. After constant woto from BLA, make na lis ten.
Wai misa ba a raba ƙasa ga don Allah a ba kowa tashi. Inyamurai a ba su yi Biafra, Yarbawa a ba su yi Oduduwa Republic, mu ko in Najeriya in su canza mata suna muka yi. Shikenan maganin ƙeya rabuwa. Ni ban san taurin kan da ke ɗiban mutanen mu ka arab in ba a raba ƙasar shi mai amfanin zama da su. Mutum ne ya riga ya rena ka bai son komi kai bai gani nai duk kokarin da kai mai bai gani don Allah mai amfanin zama da wannan ɗan iska. Don haka Allah don rahamaka ka kawo kaddara ta sa an karaba Najeriya. Kuma a raba ta uku ba biyu ba a raba ta uku ya raba.
I know say some of una no hear Hausa, but wetin dis man dey talk we say make dem free other tribe make e comot for the Islamic State of Nigeria, make dem get peace because the woto too much. Na so Prime Minister drop another update. Listen.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow Biafrans, depending on where you are listening from. I welcome all of you this evening to this space where we are giving update on the ongoing self-referendum of Biafra. I want to thank Biafrans in the homeland who so far from the day one and the second day has demonstrated their readiness and indeed that they are hungry for freedom. The percentage of votes that we have received so far, Biafrans in the homeland are taking the lead. That is actually very surprising because we were expecting that those in the homeland will have challenges while the Biafrans in diaspora who have access to the internet, who have access to telephone, laptop and all that will be doing the magic. The reverse has become the case. Of course, we have a long way to go. We know that. We have many time and enough time. But because of the history we are making, we were expecting that by now, almost everybody in diaspora would have participated in the voting. But the Biafra land is in the lead. That is very encouraging. We know that those in diaspora will have no problem in voting, and many probably are just helping those they can help before they will finally cast their vote. We want this number to start coming as early as possible. And this evening, we will focus on why this referendum is very, very important. The most important thing in our life today is this self-referendum. We are making this history, and we will write this history by ourselves. We will make this history, write the history, tell the story by ourselves. What we are doing now is where there is nothing, we put something there. Biafrans are known for their innovative nature. A lot of history has been made by people, by human beings like you and I. Those histories become the foundation of many international law that guide the universe. Somebody has to take a bold step to make something out of nothing. Somebody have to get up and create something innovative and become innovative, create something, and it comes to existence. You don't sit down and begin to wait for people to bring solutions to your problem. We have waited for long. We have waited for ages. We have paid biggest price of one Nigeria. We have been killed. We have been murdered. We have been butchered by Nigeria-sponsored terrorists in uniforms. We have been annihilated almost by the Nigeria Islamic State. And all we do is to complain, and nobody cares about what happened to us. This has been ongoing for many decades and many ages. And each time, you will complain and look for helper, and nobody comes. Today, we have the solution. The worst part of this evil entity called Nigeria is that when you talk, they tell you, go to the National Assembly. When they know actually that Nigeria has been restructured, that National Assembly can never favor you. But ordinarily, it should be a place where the amendment to the law of Nigeria for the benefit of everybody who believes in Nigeria should have been. But because they know it is a very, very dangerous diversity, and it has been restructured to favor the Islamic State, they will tell you, hold your representative responsible, hold your politicians responsible. The politician they are telling you to hold responsible has been caged, and they knew how they have caged them. They tell you hold them responsible. Once you do that, and they react in accordance to the will of the people, they will put one allegation on their head: corruption. And before you know it, the person will be struggling inside prison. Before you know it, everybody will desert the person. It has happened to many, many people, and those criminals that are now representing them in Biafra land has learned their lesson from what happened to others. So they are easily and ready to dance to their tone. And because they know that these criminals who call themselves politicians are ready to dance to their tune, they will always tell you, complain to them. When you complain to them, they want to preserve their status in Nigeria. They want to save their own dignity if they have any. They want to save their own wealth, ill-gotten wealth, and they will put everything aside. They tell you it is not possible. Only when they will be seeing what other people are doing in other regions. That is it, but it is not possible because they are not representing your interest. Another funny story they tell you is that, oh, you're asking for a referendum. There is no referendum in Nigeria Constitution. And you want to live without the possibility of referendum in your Constitution? They say, oh, you have people in the National Assembly, let somebody raise the emotion. They know that when somebody raises that emotion, the person will be assassinated. If he's not assassinated, they will render him useless. So nobody dare to raise such emotion in the National Assembly. They tell you, oh, it is not in the Constitution. Why would you not have it in the Constitution? Because it was deliberate act, a deliberate act on the evil entity. But today, we have outsmarted them. The same Nigeria do not understand that in the Charter of Africa, the Charter of, is it the ECOWAS Charter also on human rights, the Article 21, gave that particular right for self-determination. And you can't have a self-determination when you do not have the opportunity for people to choose how they want to live their life with that particular article on self-determination. And because they know that a day like will come when Nigerians, those who find themselves in Nigeria area, will be tired and sick. So they think that by removing referendum in constitution, they have outsmarted everybody. Come and do referendum now. Today, we are doing it and we have outsmarted them. And I want every one of you to understand that Biafra government is a legitimate government in exile. Legitimate government in exile. It didn't start from us. We are not the first people who have government in exile. The only thing is that we know the right of the government in exile. And that right is what we are exercising to the fullest. Many people don't understand the right of government in exile. We do. I personally understand the right of government in exile. And every right of government in exile, I am going to practice. I am going to make sure that that right is used for the interest of Biafra liberation. I will even invent another right on top of the government in exile, because Nigeria, as a complex country, a very dangerous country, requires a very complex solution. So, what we are doing today, and what I am doing today as the Prime Minister of Biafra, is to make sure that I use every mechanism, both known to international law and those that nobody has ever used, to make sure that I dissolve Nigeria for the restoration of Biafra. And it is going to work. And after this mechanism have worked, and Biafra have been declared, restored, many people who wish to have their freedom will also adopt this particular mechanism we are using today, and it will work for them. So when they tell you who have done it before, tell them, if nobody have done it before, we are doing it now. Ask them, have you seen a nation where there is no provision for people to have their democratic right? Have you seen any country where you have a constitution and they know a solution to a futuristic crisis? And they know that the solution could be to have a clause for referendum in the constitution, and they remove it. Tell them, have you seen a country like that? So we will devise a means of solution to our own peculiar problem, which we are facing today. And that solution, we have found the solution, we've discovered the solution, and we are applying it to our problems, and it is solving it. It is very, very important that you participate in this referendum that is ongoing. We have had the sit at home for the past 2.5 years, and it will continue. We want to incorporate this sit at home to this referendum. It is gradual thing, step by step. You know, when we were doing all those things from the beginning, a lot of people don't understand what we are doing. Today, when we were telling you that in February we are going to start voting, they didn't believe us. They thought it was a joke. We are waiting. February 1st is coming now. They see how they are going to conduct referendum in exile. We want to see how you want to conduct referendum in exile. Is it not happening today? Do you know how nations, developed nations, where most of you are living today, do you know how they conduct what we call survey in order to implement policies in the different government? Do you understand? Do you know that? Do you know that every country in Europe, every country in Schengen state, before they enact a law, they have what they call survey. Survey is done using the same mechanism of our self-referendum today. They conduct survey. And the result of that survey is what they are going to use to begin to amend their law, amend their policies for the interest of their citizens. In Finland, before anything is changed, they conduct survey. And that survey is the opinion of the people.
Yes, our opinion I say we want Biafra, nothing else than that. All this noise the Islamic State they make and all those steps they make are lie. Now only Biafra or Biafra. Make I rest my case now. Thank you.